Determine today that you will overcome yourself of the day before. Tomorrow, you will win over those of lesser skill, and later, you will win over those of greater skill. Miyamoto Musashi. My friends, each and every day we spend 10 to 15 minutes honing our skill, not as samurais, but as chartists, as technical analysts, following price movement, so that we can accurately predict where things are going to go. Can you do that all the time? No. That's why you don't trade all the time. You trade when the odds are ever in your favor. That's what we want. So let's jump into these charts. This is a day where everything is up except gold. Now, as we end the week, let's look first at the S&P 500. We have a green up candle. Are we reaching a higher high? No, we are not. Are we starting a long line of upward movement? Can't tell you that we are. Why? Well, look at the volume. We are in the summertime trading zone. However, we've had average volume pretty much for what is that, 5 weeks? We did not make it this week. Didn't have a shortened trading week like last week. As we look at this week, we had a doji before. We had a red down candle before that. But this week we have a green up candle. Now, could it mean that we are going to be going forward into an up season? Well, those of you who are Patreon members and saw our forecast for today, it was a 75% chance today and over the next 5 days, which does change on a daily basis because we rerun those calculations each and every day. You're able to see the backtest accuracy and the percentage. We love it to be up around 80% or so, but it's around 75. And again, it did indeed go up just a little less than 0.5%. Now, are we happy to jump in and go full swing? No. Could you move in with a smaller position that you will add to? Absolutely. It could be 0.5% of your X trade, 0.25% of your X trade, which again, your X trade is the typical trade you make. For me, for many years, it was $100,000 per trade. So if I was going to sort of like slowly move in, I might start off with 25,000 and then move up. And you might be saying, Tom, that's crazy money to put in the market. My friends, I'm not going to stay in a trade where I'm losing big percentages. So if I put in $100,000, typically my risk factor is around 2%. So if I look at the implied volatility and I see what's there, I use that to then back down my X trade. So again, we have all sorts of formulas and things. I can't get into that on this show as to how we calculate volatility and reducing the size of our opening trades as things might be starting. But again, it's just so iffy right now. Up 0.42% for the day. We aren't hitting any new highs. We've been ranging back and forth. We don't have average volume. It's just too iffy for me to do anything on the S&P. Now, what about the NASDAQ? Well, it was up too, 0.31%, which makes it even more confusing because it's been going down. And of course, what do we have here? We have less than average volume. Opened, this green volume means opened higher than the prior close as the week started. But of course, we've just now managed to push above over the last 2 days that almost flat trend line. We see that on the 2-day and the half-day. The weekly, we're just sitting there right on it, or even maybe a little below it, with pretty much a doji there, extreme indecision, but no volume backing it up. So what are we doing there? Nothing. I'm not doing anything. I can't tell what it's going to do. I mean, if you put a gun to my head, I'd think probably down, but I wouldn't bet my money on it. So again, and that's okay, guys. We don't have to know. If we don't know, we don't trade, okay? If we do know, we do trade. That's how easy it is. If the charts are in your favor and things are looking good, you jump in. If things are looking iffy, you don't. First rule of trading, don't lose money. Second rule of trading, don't lose money. Third rule of trading, make money. And I don't know what happened to my trend line here. It looks like it moved around a little on me as we closed out yesterday. Let me get it set straight. Remember, bottom down, top up. Okay, top down, bottom up. Okay, let's let's see where we are. We are pretty much flat, 0.01%. That's about as flat as it gets, other than 0.0. So what do we see here? We've sort of hit a bottom. We've been there for 3 days now. So that's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We still have downward momentum. Where does this end us for the week? It'd be nice if we had average volume to match with this move down, but I would say we are decidedly negative. We are bearish on bonds, flat for the day. May have a little bit of support here, and guys, if you look back where things had moved down to before and didn't go much below, that's back in June. I don't see any. I'm looking for some big level of support. I don't see it. I see a little bit on the half day, but nothing here on the 2-day or the weekly. Maybe if I go back, if I go back to March, I can see where it moved down and then pushed back up, but then dropped back below it. So again, we are still bearish on bonds as this week has decisively broken through the prior up move. Where are we on gold? Well, gold is still range bound, still sliding all around, just sort of hanging above this support level that we found. That is where gold hit the low back in October, and it's just hanging around there. It's not taken off yet, not blasted up. We ended the week with a doji, not quite average volume, so we're still waiting on gold to either punch through the support and keep heading down, or bounce off and move up. I want it to move up, but don't we all? What do we see going on with Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin, we thought we had a little floor here that it punched through, then it went back above and then bounced off of it again. So trying to move up 1.06% for the day. You can tell there's nothing to write home about. You can't even see the color of the candle unless we zoom in for this week, but we are sitting on that potential support line. So if this next week starts off and Bitcoin takes off, man, I'll be ready to jump in. Hope you will be too, at least on a practice trade, because we're not a stock, Bitcoin, bond, or gold calling service. We're an education firm. I want you to learn with us, practice trade with us each and every day. Thanks so much for being with us, my friends. God bless, all the best. Hey, by the way, check out the new series I'm doing on watches, about whether they're an investment or not. Short answer is not, no, hell no. Of course they're not an investment. Now, if you happen to be a watch trader on 47th Street in New York, well, sure. You know what the trends are. You know what the bid and ask are. You know how to make money. That's called arbitrage, my friends. If you're not a watch trader, you don't need to be trying to make money off watches. Make money steady in the stock market. Watch, that can be your reward, and you can enjoy that, but it's just jewelry. That's the short point of my 5-part series, but there's a lot more there. Please enjoy. God bless.